I'm Chef Robert Patton, Campus Executive Chef with Aramark at Old Dominion University. In this episode, we're going to be making strawberry oatmeal bars. Very easy recipe, and we're getting into strawberry season. They're looking great, so it's a great utilization of the strawberries for a nice, healthy dessert. So what we'll need for this recipe, equipment, we'll need some measuring spoons, some measuring cups. You'll need a knife, a cutting board. You'll need a whisk, perhaps a spoon to stir. We'll need a couple mixing bowls. You'll need an 8x8 baking pan. Some parchment paper will be great. And a wire cooling rack. It's optional, but good to have. We'll also need a sauce pot to melt our butter. Okay, let's review our ingredients for today. So we'll need some rolled oats, and we'll need 1 cup of rolled oats. We have all-purpose flour. We'll need 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. Now you could substitute this with a gluten-free baking mix to make this recipe gluten-free. We'll need 1/3 of a cup of light brown sugar. You could also have 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. It's optional. We'll omit it here. We're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. We'll also need 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and we're going to melt this. And you could also substitute melted coconut oil to make this vegan and dairy-free. We'll need 2 cups of diced strawberries, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. We'll need some lemon juice, about a tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. We'll need 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. And then for our glaze, we'll also need powdered sugar, about a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. We'll need a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we have 1 tablespoon of milk. You could use any kind you like. You could substitute a nut milk or soy milk if you wanted to keep this vegan as well. Okay? And the glaze is optional if you want to make that. So first thing we're going to do is cut our strawberries. These need to be in a small dice. So when you cut the strawberries, we're just going to take a little bit of the stem off. We're going to dice these strawberries and kind of quarter them and dice them up. It can be somewhat random. It's okay. We've measured out our 2 cups of strawberries. We'll set that to the side. Now that our strawberries are cut, we're going to get our melted butter, our butter getting melted. And we're going to take our large mixing bowl, and we're going to take 1 cup of our rolled oats, regular old-fashioned oats. You could use gluten-free oats if you need to. 3/4 of a cup of flour. We've got our 1/3 of a cup of light brown sugar, a little 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, once our butter is melted, we're going to add our melted butter to our oats, our flour, our brown sugar, and our salt. And we're going to add that and combine it just until clumps form. Now we're going to take our baking sheet, and we're going to take our parchment paper, and you want to rip or cut the parchment paper just so it sits in your pan, just just so we have some handles to lift out our bars. I'm going to use some gloves. I'm going to set aside a half cup of our oat mixture. We're going to take the rest of it into our pan. We're going to lay it out in a nice layer, spreading it out, nice thin layer. We're going to take our strawberries. We're going to scatter half of these strawberries around our oatmeal bar, just around the bottom of our pan, right on top of our oats. We need just about a teaspoon of this cornstarch. We're going to sprinkle this cornstarch just evenly over our strawberries. And as this bakes, this will help our mixture thicken a little bit. Now we'll need our lemon juice. We'll take our lemon, I'm going to roll this a little bit just to get more juice out of it. We'll need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. We're going to sprinkle that over our strawberries, our granulated sugar, half a tablespoon. We're going to sprinkle that over our mix. Now we're going to take the rest of our strawberries, scatter those around our mix. Then we're going to take the rest of our sugar, sprinkle that around. The half cup of oats that we reserved, we're going to sprinkle that over the strawberries. You'll have some fruit showing through. Tack that down a little bit. We preheated our oven to 375 degrees. We're going to bake this until it starts to brown. Probably looking at about 35 to 40 minutes for that to happen. So nice 375 degree oven. Okay. While our oatmeal bars are baking, we can make our glaze if you're going to add that. We have a half cup of regular powdered sugar. This has been sifted. And then we have a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. We'll add that. And we're going to have 1 tablespoon of our milk. We're just using regular whole milk. So we'll add that. We're going to give that a good whisk. You can add a little more milk if you like a little thinner glaze. We have a nice glaze. And once our oatmeal bars are done, we'll drizzle, and they've cooled, we'll drizzle our glaze on top. Our oatmeal bars have cooked for about 40 minutes in a 375 degree oven. They've just browned lightly on top. They've firmed up a good bit. We've let them cool on a wire rack here to cool them down quicker. Again, if you don't have a wire rack, don't panic, it's okay. You can just let them cool on the countertop. So once cool, we can carefully lift our oatmeal bars out. We'll lay them on our cutting board. We're going to leave them right on the paper. We're going to take our glaze from earlier. Just give it a good whisk again. Make sure it's pretty fluid. Again, if it's too thick, you can add more milk if you like. Okay? And we're just going to take some of this. Just start glazing this with our whisk. And we're going to cut our oatmeal bars. Cut them into whatever serving size you would like. And we're going to carefully lift them onto our plate. If you would like to garnish this with a fresh strawberry and some whipped cream, you can do that. You can leave it as is as well. So here we have strawberry oatmeal bar. Hope you enjoy. I'm Chef Robert Patton, Aramark, Old Dominion University.